In 1912, Villisca was a quiet town in Iowa, the kind of place where people didn't lock their doors at night. Everyone knew each other. The Moore family lived in a simple two-story wooden house. Josiah Moore was a respected businessman. His wife Sarah was kind and gentle, and their 4 children were well known in the neighborhood. On the night of June 9th, after attending church, the Moores invited 2 young girls to stay over. 8 people went to sleep that night. None of them would ever wake up. The next morning, a neighbor noticed something strange. The Moore house was unusually silent. No doors opened, no movement. After several unanswered knocks, the door was forced open. Inside, the house felt cold and wrong. Upstairs, the entire Moore family lay dead in their beds. Downstairs, the 2 visiting girls had been murdered as well. Every victim had been killed with an axe. There were no signs of struggle. No screams were reported. The entire town was left in shock. What terrified investigators were the details. The killer used the blunt side of the axe, not the blade. All the victims' faces were covered with cloth after death. Mirrors in the house had been covered, as if the killer didn't want to see himself. Food in the kitchen had been disturbed, suggesting the murderer stayed in the house after killing everyone. The attack likely lasted for hours, yet no one escaped, and no one heard a thing. The investigation quickly fell apart. Curious townspeople flooded the crime scene, contaminating evidence. Police arrested several suspects, including a traveling stranger and even the local preacher with mental health issues. None could be proven guilty. Confessions were recanted. Evidence disappeared. Eventually, the case went cold. The identity of the killer was never discovered, and the axe murders of Villisca became one of America's greatest unsolved crimes. After the murders, the house never felt normal again. Families who tried to live there reported strange experiences. People claimed to hear footsteps at night, children whispering, and the sound of metal scraping against wood. Some residents moved out after only a few weeks. One child reportedly woke up screaming, pointing into the darkness and saying, "There's a man standing there, holding something." Decades later, the house was turned into a tourist attraction. Paranormal investigators began spending nights inside. Many reported sudden drops in temperature, doors slamming shut, and unexplained voices captured on audio recordings. Several visitors claimed they felt overwhelming fear or sadness without knowing why. Some left the house crying. Others refused to stay inside after midnight. More than 100 years later, the questions remain unanswered. Who was the killer? Why was the Moore family targeted? And why were the victims' faces covered with care? Some investigators believe the Villisca murders were part of a series of axe killings across the United States at the time. If true, the killer may have lived a normal life afterward, never caught, never punished. Today, the Villisca axe murder house still stands. It is not just a building, but a reminder that even the safest places can hide unimaginable horror, that the most terrifying monsters are not ghosts or demons, but humans. And sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones that are completely real.